Hello, you crazy creatives. It's your friendly neighborhood Hillel back with some more knowledge eggs to crack yolk upon your mind. Recently, I've been reflecting on my career and things haven't really been moving the way I want them to, so I thought I'd spice things up by going back to basics. Initially, I was afraid, I've come so far, why do I want to go all the way back, right? And I had all these thoughts in my head about I should keep pushing where I'm going, but things aren't really moving. So I said to myself, I'm going to act like I'm now starting out. So I was going to get rid of the anxiety and focus on just enjoying what I love to do. So today I'm going to talk about starting from scratch. So let's talk about it. So there's this episode of 30 Rock. And if you're not familiar with the show, stop whatever you're doing right now and go and watch the show. Wait, you're watching this video. Okay, pause the video and then go watch the show and then come back. Are you back? There's an episode where Alec Baldwin's character, Jack Donaghy, who's the president of GE, is demoted back to the mailroom. So Liz Lemon, who's the main character, is like, oh wow, this is a huge embarrassment for you going back basically. And he's like, no, sometimes you gotta go lower. So by the middle of the episode, he's head of the mailroom, and by the end of the episode or by the next episode, he's back to being president of GE again. So this notion always stuck with me, the idea of going back in order to move forward. So I thought about situations where you would have to do that kind of thing. There are a lot of situations that would cause you to start over. A breakup, the loss of a job, the loss of a loved one. Anything that significantly affects your life can cause you to want to start over. But there will be resistance. We don't always want to start over. I mean, why should we? I've worked all this time, I've worked all this while to get to this point. Why should I move back? But well, life doesn't work like that. And sometimes the plans we've made don't work out exactly the way we want them to, and we have to start over. So how does this apply to art? Well, sometimes we start a creative project and things don't go exactly the way we want them to. I'll give you 2 examples from my life. I wrote a script a couple years ago, something that I was really proud of, fully intending to film it. However, the nature of the Ghana film industry is so slow, and I still haven't finished my second film, which is a story for a different day. So I made the decision to rewrite this script as a novel. So I had to start over. And even it took me a whole year to decide that I even want to turn that script into a novel. There was resistance. Who am I to write a novel? I've never written a novel before. I should stick with script writing. But I was compelled to write the novel. So the second example is I graduated from graduate school with a master's in disaster psychology. And when I got back to Ghana, I was kind of burnt out on all that academic stuff. And a play kind of fell into my lap and I was like, okay, I want to do this. In high school, I did a lot of plays. Actually, I did a few plays in college as well. So after I did the play, then I did a short film and I'm like, you know what? This is what I want to do. I want to shift my attention from psychology to film. And this was also starting from scratch. And even initially, when I started doing film, I wasn't going to be a writer or a director. I was going to be a producer. The idea was to be a little bit detached and just make sure that projects are getting done. It was only after a while that I started to realize that it would be very difficult to get my projects off the ground if I wasn't the one who was writing them or directing them. So that's when I transitioned into writing and directing. That was also starting from scratch because I didn't know anything about writing or directing, and I had to go back and I had to research and study and learn how to do these things. And it's not easy starting from scratch, I'm not gonna lie to you, but sometimes you need to start from scratch to get a new perspective, and it can also remind you about why you decided to get into this industry in the first place. In both of these examples, I wasn't really starting from scratch. Actually, I was starting from knowledge. Sometimes starting from scratch isn't really starting from scratch, it's starting from knowledge because you know what not to do. So if you're already in the industry and you're going back to the basics, you're not really starting all over again because you're starting with a new mindset. You're starting from power. So you know that this is the new path that I'm taking, and I know how to take it in a way that I'm going to avoid as many of the pitfalls that I did when I first started out. So in art, as in life, when you start over, you're never really starting over. You're starting from, I would like to say, you're starting from power. I say all this to say that even in a career, you can start all over again. After a massive setback, you can take stock and start again. And the challenge is getting out of your head because you're going to be telling yourself things like, for instance, I can shoot a short film. I've shot 2 feature films. Like shooting a short film would be going backwards. And that's okay. Sometimes we need to go backwards, go down, go lower, pull back like a slingshot, and then shoot forward further than we were before. So how can you tell it's time for a restart? Well, if you're banging your head against the wall, trying to figure out where it all went wrong, you should probably start thinking about doing a restart. Also, if you've achieved a major goal, it may be a good idea to go back to basics. This is the one thing I love about filmmaking and art in general, is that every project I start, I feel like I'm starting from scratch, like I'm learning something new, I'm going back to school. I know they have this concept called beginner's mind. It's a Buddhist philosophy. It's like looking at things through the lens of a novice, of a beginner, the openness and a lack of preconceptions. This can help you access new experiences in an old medium. It can free yourself from past failures and past experiences. In fact, I would say sometimes it's a good idea to start from scratch because you are most open when you're starting a new project or in a new medium. The task is daunting, yes, but it's a lot of fun. Don't be afraid to start all over again. I think a breakup is the best analogy. It gives you the opportunity to review, to reassess, to review your goals, your values, what works, what doesn't work. Don't be afraid to start from scratch, people, because you'll be starting from power. And I know these questions will be going through your mind, like, will I get hurt again? Will anyone even like me? Will I make the same mistakes again? Is like going back to school as an adult. Will they judge me? Is it even worth it? I'm an adult. Isn't school for children? Look, they're gonna judge you either way. And you're not there for anybody. You're there for yourself. You're there to build yourself back up. And that can be exciting. Do you remember what that feels like, right? I feel like if you've reached a point in your career where doing what you love is making you miserable, then you've got to find a way to change the energy. And I feel like you can really do that from starting from scratch. Anyway, that's all I've got from you today. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Have you ever started all over again? I've started to film myself. Yeah, it's a little bit different, a little bit more challenging. Hopefully the next few videos will be a little bit easier as I get more used to this kind of a format. It's kind of challenging to read and also to talk to you and make you feel like it's something that's natural. Please bear with me as I transition into this different form of this new medium. Hey, I'm also starting from scratch in a way as well. So awesome. I really appreciate that you watched this video, and again, please bear with me and please keep it classy and stay creative. Peace.